But what concerns me most, we don't drink it, but we bathe with it. We wash our meat with it. And I don't cook with it. I never cook with it. But we use to brush our teeth with it. But what has happened in the past 2 years, I've had 2 deaths. And they were both cancer related. And they were both rapid deaths. Neither of them lasted more than 5 months, 3 months. One was 3 months, the other was, both of them actually were 3 months. And so that's a concern for me. I have 5 adults and 2 small children at my home. And I really would like to know if the water is contaminated. No one seemed to tell me how far this thing has traveled, or where it's ended, where it started. I understand it started from Rubus. Where is it now? It can't be 5 houses if everyone is saying that persons died from cancer related because of the water. I would like to know. I know that one of them died from lymphomas, and I can't remember the other cancer name that my sister just died from about 3 weeks ago. So I would really like to know, how can I go about? I don't have the funds, I'm not cheap to tell anyone. I don't have the funds for the private testing for the $1,200, but I need my water tested. Please, tell me, how can I go about having this done?
2 things. Yes. What I'm saying is the things you put on your skin, this is the general rule you should think about. It's small things. Just as an example, the average woman puts about 50 chemicals on her face and gets up before she leaves the house. Okay? So now, yes, if you put chemicals on your body, whatever you put on your body, just think about it. It's just like swallowing. So yes, it will affect you. If you bathe in it, you use it for deodorant, you brush your teeth. Your gums and mucous membranes are one of the fastest ways to absorb toxins. So yes, to answer that question. The second question, to get this rapidly, is as this marathon, Justice for Marathon group is doing, to comply, work with them, and do what they have and do what they ask. And that is the fastest way, and they will do all they have, including the legal aspect, to get this thing to the appropriate people so that you can get help.
Okay, now, last question. Earlier, the lady to the back had asked if whether or not it's going to be done by persons with well or persons with government water. I don't think somebody answered that. The testing. How is the testing carried out?
You're talking about in terms of the government testing or what we're planning on doing?
Give me it from both sides and then let's go from there.
In terms of the government's testing, I'm not certain on if they, at this point, they are only saying residents in Marathon are being screened for health, okay? When you contact the hotline that they have for water and sewage, it's basically only for you to switch over to the city water. So in terms of if they are testing water, I am not certain. In terms of what we are doing, we're opening it up to anybody who wishes to have it done. There's no, if you're on city, if you're on well, because I don't know if you were here last week, Monday. Okay, well, Fenton, Nemo spoke about the fact that city water could potentially be contaminated. So in our view, in whatever information we collect, it's not going to be, well, John Doe is on city water, so that doesn't count. No, we're putting everybody in the numbers, and the test will be offered to everyone who lives in Marathon or works in Marathon.
Sorry, last question, and I'm sure you guys have had a time frame as to when this will take place.
Some of the yards, some of the people whom we went to the yards, they have well water and they have city water. So when electricity cut off, they can switch to city water and then come back on the well water. But in some of the yards when we inspected, the pipe work ain't hooked up right. So the water will come from the well and go in the city water line. So it can contaminate the city water line. And some of the people in the residents, and some residents out there have 24 wells. You understand? Yeah. And even the people who did get tests from Rubens, they never get the results, the people came and do the test, and never return it, never tell them nothing.
Okay, granted that being the case, but what I'm saying though, when I initially made my statement was, I have never been on city water. From the time I got my home, we've always been on the well water. So I'm asking though, what is your time frame that you would have persons to come by and test my well water? Or do I have to seek private consulting myself?
Right, okay, that information depends on the data that is collected. How fast we're able to get the information, and like I said, we are going out again this weekend to continue that so we can present that information. We already have the quotes for the water testing based on numbers. So we already know if we have 30 households, how much it will cost. We already know if we have 50 households, how much it will cost. And so as soon as we're able to put our numbers to match the quotes, present that to some other persons, then we'll be able to tell you the exact date someone will come to your house with the water. You indicated the challenge with funding, and so we recognize we have persons who have committed to this cause, and so we have to present that information to them. I know some persons want a designated date, but I don't want to stand here and tell you next week Friday you're going to see someone with a water bottle. I don't want to do that.
Last question. I'm sorry to take up all your time. But last question to Dr. Stiles. In terms of I understand you're saying that using the water that we bathe